is the Pngtv Live News. I'm Quintina Naime. Relief effort collections within Port Moresby continue to expand as more groups create avenues for the public to donate towards the earthquake disaster appeal. Amongst the groups is Hela Earthquake Relief with the theme PNG for Hela. The group will collect donations from the public for the next 4 weekends. Florida Golaseni reports.
The devastating earthquake that has affected not only one or a few, but the whole country, is a weight on every individual citizen's shoulder. The Hela Earthquake Relief Group Committee, Sibyl Druma, says the group banded together to form a team, seeing there was an absolute need to do all they can in any possible way to help alleviate the suffering our people are facing.
Obviously, the devastation is quite extensive, and even the efforts that we are trying to make will not be the entire solution. But we just wanted to send our love, to the people of Hela, let them know that we are here for them, that we're praying for them, and that there are citizens right throughout the country who are, banding together in their own groups, just like what we have done, to show them that we are with them in this time.
The group has been receiving emails from international contacts willing to donate. Therefore, Selita Dabe says one of the group's motive for formulating the group was to create an avenue for kind citizens to give their donations.
We have a lot of people who want to give things or give and donate to people who are suffering up there. I know a lot of people want to give clothes, food, or do what they can to help, but there's nobody actually telling them, here is the spot, you come and you give here, and we facilitate for everything to be taken up to where it's needed. So therefore we came together to basically give that sense of direction, saying that we are willing to come together as people with like-minded people working together for one cause. That's to basically have citizens give to our other citizens up in Hela who are suffering.
The program will be going for 4 weeks on Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays at the Sir John Guy Stadium from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
During that time we will start to inform the general public in terms of how we're going to manage the cash donations. And obviously we will do that in consultation with the provincial government and the relevant people in authority, just to ensure, for the sake of people's peace.
The team encouraged all Papua New Guineans that if you feel in your heart that you would like to give anything that is even of the smallest value, it will matter to the lives out there that are suffering. Florida Golaseni, Pngtv Live.
The Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC, is looking to ensure it can improve the way electronic commerce works for small businesses. Executive Director of the APEC Secretariat, Dr. Alan Bullard, says with Papua New Guinea host for this year's APEC meetings, the country has been emphasizing on digital focus. He says PNG is now pushing the boundaries, and for the first time, the digital focus includes benefits for small and medium enterprises, or SMEs. Following the conclusion of the first 2018 APEC Senior Officials Meeting, Dr. Alan Bullard says APEC is a big, complex organization and PNG has to carry on the work put in place in Vietnam last year and others before that. He says APEC has been emphasizing on digital focus for a while, but what it aims to do this year is improve the way that electronic commerce works for SMEs. During discussions this week, local entrepreneurs talked about how e-commerce tools can work for small businesses in PNG. Dr. Bullard explains PNG is going further this time than what APEC has done in the past, which is look at digital beyond electronic commerce.
So that means digital for tracking earthquakes, digital for improving government services, possibility of digital remote access in areas like education and health and things like that.
The other area to be highlighted during APEC meetings this year is inclusive growth. The APEC economies are looking forward to see what PNG is going to come up with this year to see what it can achieve in this area. Dr. Bullard highlights inclusive growth this year is going to be particularly about economy and resources as growth drivers and who gets to benefit and how the benefits work out. The Lands Department continues to clean its closet following the appointment of a new board. Minister for Lands and Physical Planning Justin Tachenko says the appointment of the new board is the beginning of more changes to come. Florida Gulaseni reports.
The new board was sworn in yesterday with 7 members representing the 4 regions, church sector, PNG Institute of Directors and customary landowners. Sam Wange from the church sector has been appointed as chairman. Minister Tachenko highlights the board has work to do with a lot of outstanding issues it has to go through for the next 6 months.
It hasn't been operating for over a year in a proper capacity, and we're still going through the appeals process on some of the issues that the board has deliberated on in the past. But it's all about getting on with the job, getting the Lands Department moving in the right direction for the benefit of securing and doing a better job in the Lands Department.
The minister cautions the members to ensure they carry out their duties honestly, as they will be making critical, important and sensitive issues for the land in the country.
You'll be making decisions that will upset some and others will celebrate. But the most aim and objective is to get it right and do it properly. And that's very important.
The new board has been tasked to review all land titles and install a new land title insurance system, amongst others. The department is also working to reclaim all state land and develop them. The new board chairman Sam Wange says there will be no more room for corruption and they will work closely with the department to deliver.
There are times we will have decisions that may not be well accepted. As such, we must stand together to make firm decisions which unbiased. We must stand neutral in our decisions.
Florida Gulaseni, Pngtv Live.
A total of 130 farmers in the Wamsok villages of Maprik in East Sepik Province have registered under the newly introduced JS Economic Zone Concept and World Bank-funded PNG Productive Agriculture Partnership Program. Road infrastructure is lacking in the area and the farmers do not have access to transport their produce to markets, and this has been challenging. The farmers have shown initiative by building roads to access these services. Florida Gulaseni reports.
Joshua Himina, Chief Executive Officer for Maprik District Development Authority, who visited the people this week, says the people walk 7 to 10 hours from Wamsok to Supari and Hamahup to the main stations to access services. There was no road connecting Wamsok villages since independence, but it has never stopped the farmers who carry goods and services by shoulder and even carry patients on sick beds to get to the closest stations. Himina adds in 2017, Maprik District received only 1 million kina DSIP in late September. The district was handicapped with funding constraints and could not continue the road section from Wamsok 1 to Wamsok 4. Visiting the people of Wamsok, Himina says he was humbled to see a 12.4-kilometer road being built from 23,000 kina contributions from Wamsok people. Himina further thanked Robert Sendi, an MPA and LLG manager, for inviting him to uncover development realities in the real rural enclave, and now for the first time, the Wamsok villagers will be able to have vehicles operating in their area with an easy route for them to access services. He also conveyed his challenge to donor agencies who wish to make real impacts in the lives of rural people to come forward and support the district. Florida Gulaseni, Pngtv Live.
You're watching Pngtv Live News. More after this break. Welcome back. You're watching Pngtv Live News. Following the successful first APEC Senior Officials Meeting, or SOM1, 2018 APEC SOM Chair Ambassador Ivan Pomaleo reveals PNG expects to deliver a whole range of issues at the end of the year. Ambassador Ivan Pomaleo says one of the issues PNG is proposing to the APEC economies is to harness inclusive growth in the resource sector, focusing on extractives, forestry and fisheries.
The other aspect of work on inclusive growth is to bring a bit of spotlight on gender work. So we want to talk about women in mining, in fisheries, women in the extractive sector.
APEC continues to be a policy entity as it brings policy discussions onto the table. Pamaleo explains by hosting, PNG is able to lead and make contribution to policy discussions, but also to demonstrate some commitment to actually deal with some of these policy outcomes domestically.
It does give you a bit of leverage. It does give our government a sense of commitment that these are the issues that we need to focus on and hopefully deliver within those prescribed sectors and have a bit of impact. And I think that's crucial for our country. That's important.
There will be 2 more senior officials meeting during the course of the year, with the final concluding some 4 leading up to the main APEC Leaders Summit week in November. Bank South Pacific has donated 1 million kina towards relief efforts in the Highlands region affected by the devastating earthquake. BSP is among other corporate organizations including Trukai Industries, Oil Search Limited, Action Mobile, and Digicel PNG that have donated in cash and kind. Florida Gulaseni reports.
The 1 million kina donation was presented to Prime Minister Peter O'Neill yesterday on FM 100 Talkback Show. The disaster has affected about 12 branches in the affected areas. BSP Chief Executive Officer Robin Fleming says they value the relationship with the people and are saddened to hear about the loss of lives, property, family, and the every livelihood of those affected by the disaster. He hopes that the donation will go a long way to support the restoration efforts in providing the people with immediate needs.
BSP is the largest non-mining private sector company in PNG. We feel it's incumbent upon us to make a donation of some significance, recognising the people impacted, many of whom are our customers, many of whom are very close to our families in the staff in those affected areas. We've made a donation of 1 million kina.
Fleming trusts the government will be able to use the funds to support those affected areas. Upon receiving the donation, Prime Minister Peter O'Neill thanked the staff and families of BSP who have made a kind donation to the relief efforts that are ongoing to support those affected by the earthquake.
BSP is a very strong social, has got a strong social responsibility company that is out there contributing to efforts and supporting organizations right throughout the country, and we are grateful for that. And certain that this money will be put to good use, and I want to thank also all the other companies and all the other individuals who are continuously contributing to this relief effort.
The first relief supplies from the government were finally delivered yesterday at the care center in Pimaga Station in the Kutubu LLG. Florida Gulaseni, Pngtv Live.
Meantime, among the many corporate companies that have donated in cash and kind to the earthquake disaster relief efforts, Digicel PNG has come on board, donating about 500,000 kina. Digicel was also heavily impacted during these earthquakes, having 66 of its towers affected within the province on the day of the 7.5 magnitude earthquake. Digicel PNG made the donation of 636,000 kina during the FM 100 Talkback Show yesterday. The donation goes towards the 2018 Earthquake Disaster Restoration Initiative championed by the government of PNG to support those affected by the earthquake. Chief Executive Officer Valde Ferrades says Digicel is deeply saddened at the loss of lives and properties of people, as well as that of most needed infrastructures such as schools, hospitals and transport.
For those affected, I think all of our resources are on focusing on how do we make sure that our talent and our commitment is in the areas that have been affected.
Ferrades adds that this donation may not help every victim of this earthquake, but will go a long way to changing people's lives that are in desperate need of this kind of support. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill acknowledges Digicel's support and efforts towards the earthquake disaster. These funds will directly support the people of Southern Highlands with the purchase of food items, additional medical supplies, and the ongoing rehabilitation of the region.
And we mobilized about 9 of our top teams from Port Moresby to go into the regions via helicopter, via different planes, with our top people to go and look at the infrastructure damage and to try and connect the nation as quickly as possible.
Ferrades reveals Digicel has been able to restore services in record time with 57 towers returned to full operational capacity.
But most of the community have, to be fair, have assisted us in getting our towers back up and allowing our people on the ground. Now, those towers, as you know, has to be accessible by helicopter. Some of the roads have been closed, so we urge that the people support us, allow our engineers to go and fix the towers. So most of all, the community has been very, very supportive in us to get those towers back up.
Ferrades adds Digicel is committed to providing free calls to all its subscribers for a 24-hour period as the towers were restored. There were tens of thousands of calls made during this period to friends and family, ensuring their safety and well-being.
Credit to them, they've now got the good majority of their towers back on track, so that communication is now enabling our relief efforts even much easier. So we can communicate directly with the affected communities who are now calling for assistance either in food, or medicine, or injured patients to be picked up.
The Digicel team is currently on site working 24 hours a day to ensure all affected towers are restored. Lake Police is still experiencing an increase in road accidents within the city and along the highway to Nadzab. Lake Police boss Anthony Wagambi has questioned the process in which drivers have been issued their driving licenses. Florida Gulaseni reports.
Lake Police boss Anthony Wagambi Jr. says most of the accidents have been caused by reckless driving and not considering other road uses. Police in Leh will be stepping up on random vehicle checks on licenses and also will be working closely with the Morbill Land Transport Board to address these issues. He adds that there are also many vehicles that are not worthy to be on the road. He is now calling on drivers and owners of vehicles to take note that they will be conducting a major crackdown. With drink driving a big problem, Wagambi wants those who drink and drive and break traffic rules that they will be arrested and charged and licenses cancelled and vehicles impounded. Wagambi also informed the public of Leh that police do not have the manpower and resources to adequately carry out checks, but they will combine with other stakeholders to do something about this issue. Florida Gulaseni, Pngtv Live.
You're watching Pngtv Live News. More after this break. Welcome back. You're watching Pngtv Live News. Devastated areas from the 7.5 magnitude earthquake in the Highlands region can now be accessed by road. Talking on FM 100 Talkback show yesterday, Prime Minister Peter O'Neill updated the nation on the ongoing relief exercise underway in Southern Highlands and Hela provinces. One major achievement in the last 2 days is the access into Kutubu from Kikori in the Gulf province. Festus Maganap reports.
It's nearly 2 weeks now. Relief and restoration efforts in areas severely affected by the 7.5 magnitude earthquake are gaining momentum. Support continues to pour in from bilateral partners, major development investors, and the private sector at large. Hela province, home to the multi-billion Kina LNG project, is the worst hit. Access by roads to bring in relief supplies had been difficult since day one.
The Honourable Peter O'Neill. Good morning to you, Prime Minister.
Good morning, Douglas, and good morning.
On a positive note today, Prime Minister Peter O'Neill told the nation that major access links into the area have been restored, including the opening of the Kikori-Kutubu road link along the LNG pipeline.
Also have cleared all the road from Kikori all the way up to what we call the pipeline road. That is all the way up to Kutubu. So we are able to now take supplies from Kopi, and we're taking it right into Kutubu so that we can have the restoration work started in those areas as well.
This means that truckloads of supplies are finally being transported into Tari from the Western Highlands capital Mount Hagen. Prime Minister O'Neill also commended Oil Search, ExxonMobil, Mineral Resource Development Corporation and other development partners for their continued assistance in the delivery of supplies using helicopters. In the last 2 days, almost 120 tons of necessary supplies were flown into Moro for easy distribution to outer line communities. However, Access into Hides and Como remains difficult due to the extent of damage done. The Prime Minister reported the 3.2-kilometer Como airfield of the LNG project received a 900-meter crack in the middle.
So that airport remains closed. The engineers are already on the ground. Experts from the United States and Australia have already been mobilized, and they're already on the ground doing studies on whether we can rescue that airport or not. It certainly will take some time to rebuild.
And while major road links have been cleared of debris, contractors are permanently stationed on the ground to mend the roads as landslides from aftershocks continue. Festus Maiganup, Pngtv Live.
Into sporting news, SP PNG Hunters kick off their 2018 Intrust Super Cup season campaign tomorrow at the National Football Stadium. Stand United will be the theme for all PNG RFL sanctioned rugby league events, especially the Hunters match and Digicel Cup trial matches tomorrow. PNG RFL Chairman Sandy Saka informed all games organizers to set up donation buckets at all venues and to observe a minute silence before each game to remember those who have lost their lives so far. PNG RFL Chairman Sandy Saka says the earthquake disaster has seriously devastated people and provinces where rugby league is passionately followed. As a sport, they have to stand united with the people whose lives and homes have been affected. In Port Moresby, Croton Hela Wigmen face PRK Gulf Iso in the Digicel Cup trial fixture at 12:15 p.m. on Sunday at the Oil Search Football Stadium. This will be the curtain raiser to the SP Hunters Intrust Super Cup season opener against Ipswich Jets, which kicks off at 3 p.m. The Wigmen represent the people of Hela province who have recently been devastated by the 7.5 magnitude earthquake. On Sunday at the Lay Rugby League Oval at 1:30 p.m., Lay Snakes Tigers will host Goroka Lahanis in a Digicel Cup trial match. Saka explains these matches are dedicated to the earthquake disaster areas and all funds raised through the bucket donations and gates will be disclosed early next week. A total of 30,900 shirts were sold by the Papua New Guinea Olympic Committee in Port Moresby and Ley this week to raise funds for Team PNG to the Commonwealth Games. The first auction held in Ley on Wednesday evening sold 17,000 shirts for 170,000 kina. A further 5,300 kina was raised from the sales of a signed SP Hunters jersey for 2,800 kina and a signed North Queensland Cowboys jersey which went for 2,500 kina. Florida Gulaseni reports.
The items were purchased by Trustia and Territory Packaging respectively in Ley. President of the PNG Olympic Committee, Sir John Dawanikura, says the organization is grateful to the business community in Ley and Port Moresby for their continuous support to the Trukai Fund Run. The overall funds raised from both auctions were 309,000. The top 5 bidders were rewarded with return airline tickets to Sydney, Brisbane, Singapore, Hong Kong and Cairns as a courtesy of Air New Guinea. Sir John also acknowledged the other bidders who attended the auctions, saying that their support for Team Papua New Guinea is greatly appreciated. Their support makes it possible to send Papua New Guinea's elite athletes to international sporting events where they continue to amaze and inspire us. The Trukai Fund Run not only raises much-needed funds for Team PNG, but also has a wide-ranging benefit to the community. Participants of the fun run have the opportunity to win prizes and also get a scholarship to study at the IBS University. Schools who are donated the shirts can raise extra funds for their projects, while businesses who brought the shirts advertise their brand or message on the shirt. He invited the bidders to join the fun run on June 24th nationwide and to follow the progress of Team PNG at the Commonwealth Games, which runs from the April 4th to the 15th in Gold Coast, Australia. The bought t-shirts will be donated to schools and charities in the communities, which can be sold at a price not more than 10 kina. Money from this is kept by the institutions for their projects. Florida Gulaseni, Pngtv Live.
And that's the Pngtv Live News Bulletin. From myself and the news team, pleasant viewing. Good night.